Well, hello there, my fellow Jeffs, and today I'll be quickly talking about the wildcard, how I found it myself, which, yeah, we'll get to that, and also we'll talk about just my entire season, how I reflect on it, and what the future beholds for me in the future, and the channel, and so on. So, firstly, before we talk about any of this, I want to say my big thank yous to everybody who helped me, supported me, in any way. So that could be from helping me with improving at countries. Like there are so many people. I would love to name everybody, but I feel like I just want to say it more generalized because I don't want to forget somebody's name. So I hope you all understand why I'm not name dropping. But thank you everybody who helped me improve at some key countries and some cool countries as well. And also thank you to everybody who was there on the Twitch streams whilst I was grinding. Thank you for the support there. Thank you for the support during the Sundays when the league was happening. Thank you for all those who travelled to watch the regionals, who were watching the regionals at home, and also thank you to my family for giving me this opportunity in the first place to really go for it this year and give myself the time to grind and the support. And also thank you to my friends as well for being there to support me, to help me during the lows and during the highs. And yeah, and also a big shout out to everybody who made it to the World Championship Finals. You all deserved it. And of course, there's still a Danish wildcard to be concluded. But for now, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was there for me, whether it was supporting, watching, helping. It means a lot. And a massive shout out to all my closest friends, especially those who were there the moment after the NMPZ incident happened, because that might have had to be my worst experience and my lowest point ever playing this game. Period. I am still recovering now. I'm still devastated. I'm still distraught. I still feel a bit down because of it. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's going to take me a while to recover from that because, yeah. For context, how my tourney went, my journey in this wildcard is I beat Sadju. It was a very good game. It was a good match between me and Sadju. Shout out Sadju for making it a great game. He played well. But for me, I'm just happy I got that result. I feel like I should not have brought it to NPZ, but it happened. But I got the result, and the most important thing in knockouts is winning. I don't care how well I play sometimes. I just want to make sure I win. There's no point playing amazing in a knockout tournament if you're going to lose anyway. So yeah, GG's Sadju. And then I played Madder. I played pretty strongly in the first game. And second game, like I say, I think there's a debate for multi-merching on the no move game, which I disagree with. I mean, I feel like the Australia round, I think my guess was much better, and we were near the coast, and my region guessing was pretty strong there. But Mana played really well in the first two games, and like I say, he had a good. I remember having strong starts in the games, and I kind of kept the consistency up towards the end, which is what got me to that 2-0. So it could have so easily gone either way. But shout out Madder, he deserved it. Like NPZ, honestly, I could have still lost that game. I had a perfect start. Yes, the Kazakhstan on Russia round one was quite the worst timing. If that was round three, I would have won. That's the problem with multipliers. On an NPZ is it's like you can get away with making blunders on round one, pretty much, and I don't know. It's pretty brutal when that happens. When if it was 1 or 2 rounds later, you would win. But that's just GeoGuessr for you. That's just the multipliers for you. That's what makes the game entertaining, the comebacks, and so on. That's why it's all about consistency and timing in these competitions. But getting to the point, there was a round where me and Lamada pretty much got level again, and it was in Newfoundland. The vegetation made sense for Newfoundland with with the trees and so on. And I ended up sending UK, and a lot of people will probably question what the hell happened there. Did he just panic? Did he feel the pressure? And so on. And I want to explain that it was none of those things. I didn't really feel pressure in that round. I genuinely just had the the worst tunnel vision I've ever had this year in probably the most important round, the most important game and round in my entire season of the World Championship. And yeah, for it to happen then and for that instance to happen at that given moment is just the biggest. This like it's just it just feels shit. I think that's the best way of putting it. It's absolute. It's just so bad. It's so painful to even bring this up. But I wanted to like bring it up now because like it's best to like let it out, accept that I did make it. Like I say, I do accept it, but I just want to talk about it to you guys. So what the tunnel vision incident was is on the round at the furthest back there was a house. The house made out of pastel, and it had like different shades of pastel near the windows. And in the UK, you can use architecture to region guess. So what happened there is the first thing I noticed was the house. So I was like, this house is Celtic influenced, or it looks Celtic influenced. And feel free to let me know if there is some Celtic influenced architecture that's identical to the ones in the UK compared to Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. But either way, it was either the same or extremely similar architecture, or the material was at the very least. So pretty much, I saw that and thought, okay, with that architecture, it could be these regions of the UK. But then I tried to region guess, and then I was like, the vegetation landscape doesn't work. Where in the UK do I go? And I used the entire time to try and figure that out. I didn't, and I ended up sending somewhere in the UK, and then that's what happened. So, like, if you take it from a different perspective, and I use the landscape first, or I didn't notice the house until later, then the landscape with the trees would have definitely not made me go UK because I couldn't place it in the UK with the architecture, but because I tunnel visioned, I thought it was just some weird baity location in the UK where the fence was just being weird and a few other things. But landscape, where the fences were, the tree species or what the trees look like, because I'm going to be honest, I know I can really guess kind of through what trees can look like, but I don't know all the tree species. I don't normally compare tree species in Canada to tree species in Europe. You know, like that's something I don't really do normally when I play GeoGuessr. So, that's why I didn't end up switching from Europe because I don't know if there's a similar tree species or a similar relative somewhere in Europe that can look very similar. So like you have to understand from that perspective, and maybe in the future I need to really work on my tree species identification and making sure that it's intercontinental rather than just country region guessing based, and being aware of similar species that might be in different continents that can look similar to each other, or the distinctive ones that you don't get anywhere else or anywhere in Europe and so on. I do need to work on that, and that's something I want to think about in the long term. But if I did the other way around, or that if the house wasn't there, there was no way in a million years I would have sent UK. Like, like you just have to understand the tunnel vision moment of seeing the house and them too busy trying to think where in the UK would make sense. I couldn't figure it out, but I used the entire time to do that, so I didn't even bring up Canada in the entire time because I was just that fixated on the UK because of the house that I didn't question myself whether could this architecture be somewhere else, not in the UK, where I might not know what the architecture looks like, or maybe it's just a random build because you get some random architecture sometimes that can be very baity in places you don't expect them to be in. And I didn't do that. I didn't like widen my scope during the round. And it was this very similar situation to the Kenya round where I recognized the ridge, and there was a moment I said in my head, do I consider Africa here? And I was like, no, let's just try and use all the time to think about places in Europe, for Asia and Americas, and I couldn't figure it out in the minute. But if I just give myself 10, 15 seconds in Africa, I feel like Kenya. I feel like I could. There was a good chance I could have got Kenya there because, like I say, I recognized the ridge. I knew the ridge, the mountain. It felt very familiar, but I just couldn't connect the dots because everything else in that location was just so weird that I couldn't place it. So it's a kind of a similar thing where I don't widen the scope. I'm too hyper focused. I'm too focused on the minute one details things that makes me think, oh, I've seen this here. So now I'm in the region getting situation, which I think is part of like a no move thing where like I'll see something to confirm the country, and then I use something where I feel like I already know the country, the landscape on no move because it's easier on no move. And then I try and region guess with that second clue. It's like I'm skipping a step, quite essentially, and that's what really happened. And it's like I think it's a result of not playing enough NPZ games this year, and it's mostly because obviously for the league, NPZ was arguably the least important mode, because you can't get 3 points from a win on NPZ, whereas in winning move after a moving game you get 3 points. You will only get 2 points if you win NPZ. Yes, wins will add up, but 2-0s over, if you won like 6 2-0s over 6 2-1s, that's 18 for 2-0s, and if it's 6 for 2-1s, it's 12. So there's like a 6 point difference. It wasn't as valuable, and also it's only if it went to a tiebreaker in the fifth game in the knockouts. And for me, every game was a knockout thing, and that also reflects that my consistency in my no moving and moving needs to be better. I need to be more clean. I need to be more consistent. I need to get more results in those games. Like I should not be going to a NPZ tiebreaker at a time. Otherwise, because NPZ can be just that difficult at times, especially on the EMEA map, it's like you're gonna probably eventually lose. Eventually, like it's very hard for a player to win every single NPZ game. Like it's very difficult to do in a tiebreaker time and time again. And yeah, like it's just something that I'd rather avoid because you could be so much more consistent and be more dominant in the no move and moving than the NPZ, because NPZ, it really depends on the map and depends on what round comes up at the right time at a given time. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I could have done better um, in on the day. I still think I perform well. It's just overshadowed right now with that one round incident, and I kind of want to move on. If I'm being honest, like I say, the odd joke here and there is fine. Like with my friends and stuff, my family, it's fine. But at this point, I just want to move on because it's just not good to be dwelling on it, dwelling on the past. I need to think forward and really use that energy in a different way and use it to make me work even harder to make sure I get in next year if I get that opportunity. So yeah, so pretty much the season, I finished 12th in the league before the regionals, which would have put me, which I was currently in the qualifications for the championship. So obviously, I've got the ability and consistency to get in, but I was on the edge, and because of the regionals and the performances in the regionals, knocked me out of those places by 3, and then 13th place got a place because there was only one winner from the Wildcard instead of two, and yeah, I missed out by 2 places, and I had to have pretty much got third place in third place would have been a guarantee to qualify for the finals in the EMEA after beating the likes of Lenley, Konzus, probably Finbar, Stroke, Debray. Like that is an incredibly difficult a list of players to beat against. And in other for example, the APAC, for example, I think Sheena and Zigzag were the only people in the top 12, whereas I would have pretty much had to have played. I've played against all the players I played against got into the top 12, qualified for. If I did get through that route, all the people that I could have played, including Lenley, like Lenley got in. So like technically, all those on my list are now in the finals of the World Championships, which just tells you how hard of a set of fixtures I had. But it was a good game against Lanley, and Lanley just deserved it more than NPZ, and that's just the way it is. Same with Madder on the NPZ as well. So shout out Madder, and it could have gone either way, but yeah, obviously congrats to Clement, thoroughly deserves the win, and in my opinion the best player in the entire tournament. So looking forward to Sergis in Copenhagen, and yeah, very good for his debut esports season to make it first time, because it isn't easy, as as a lot of people have shown this season that have almost made but just missed out. So big shout out to Clement for getting that win and victory. So yeah, putting that to the side, I from the league alone, the ability is there, but I need to be more convincing. I need to improve my consistency. I need to be winning more often. Um, like statistically wise, in the league, 50% no move rate, in my opinion, is not good enough to be comfortably getting into the finals if they would do a league phase next season. And if I get in that, hopefully I'm in it, and hopefully I don't have to go through an entire process again after finishing 12th for 39 games and then finishing the top 15 after that. You know, I really do hope that I don't have to go through the entire process again. And if I do, I have to prove myself again and start from scratch, which I feel like my debut season, it would feel pretty harsh. I feel like I've done enough this season to prove that I can stay in this like bracket of elite players. So hopefully that does not happen. But if it does, I've just got to prepare for it and try my best when that happens. So yeah, we will see about that. And yeah, not really too much to say besides that. Yep, there's little things like that defied my season where like I was good enough quality wise, but I was on the edge all the time whether I could just make it or I might just miss out. And next year I want to be solidifying myself. I want it to be like if I perform and I'm hoping that my level of consistency within my improvements in the coming months, that my performances will make me pretty much solidified to automatic qualifying for the finals next year. That is my goal. I will need to do that, to qualify next year. I can't be someone who's 12th to 15th fighting for the edge. If that's the case again, then it might just be down to fate, a bit of luck. I don't know, because I really felt like I had no luck not really any luck in these events. There was a lot of moments where I could have won the match against Lenley or the games against Lenley, but it just didn't happen. Which it just happened, and I'm sure other players have had that too. Maybe Lenley had that against me as well at one point, but he managed to find another opportunity and he took it. It just wasn't meant to be this year for me, I think, unfortunately, to get into World Cup Championships or World Championships, sorry. But hopefully next year will be, and I'll use this like failure of getting in as an energy, as like a form of energy where I can push myself further and improve as a player and improve my consistency and get those extra wins and win and be more successful in knockout stages as well. Like my knockout stages should have been better, but it just wasn't meant to be. And like everybody had played extremely well as well. Like the bar is very close in this competitive scene, and you really get over punished sometimes when you make a mistake. And if it's that multis, you're in trouble. If you're not, you can pretty much get away with it. If there's another round where it ends up being the other way around. So yeah, it is tough what happened. I'm still recovering. The plan is now is to have to take it easy this week. Like I'll probably be playing casually with my family if it's GeoGuessr related. But outside of GeoGuessr, I won't be playing GeoGuessr till at least next week. If it's not related to playing with my family or my closest friends in the community. I will be thinking about content, so stay tuned for that. I will be streaming again on Twitch. I might stream on Twitch this week, but I won't be playing GeoGuessr. Like I need a bit of time away from that, so it'll be probably more of a casual chatting stream Maybe I'll play some random chess and show how bad I am at that. I don't know, Jeff, but staying tuned, keep an eye on my Twitch, keep an eye on my YouTube, because now I can also make content for a bit too. So, yeah, if you got any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments. But yeah, like I said before, I'm doing okay, you know, like I say. Um, all I would say about that one round incident, it was just one round. Please don't let that overshadow everything else that happened during my season. Like, it was my debut season. I played very well. I think I proved a lot of people that hard work can take you places, and also that I had the ability, because at the beginning, not many people really knew how much stronger I was. They knew I put the work in, but they didn't know about how it would translate to the results. And I proved it in the league, and it did. And hopefully next year I will perform even better and get myself into the finals, because that is my goal. That's the main thing I care about at this point. I want to get to the finals. I am good enough. I've got the work ethic. I just want to get in so bad. And yeah, like I say, all the help, all the support, everyone being there for me, especially during my at the lowest point when I didn't quite make it. I will always be very thankful for that, and thank you for the amazing support. And hopefully next year, Jeff will be in the finals. And yeah, like I say, I will be there in Copenhagen. I will try and make sure I'm there in Copenhagen, and I will be trying to do a vlog, support everybody, support my friends who are in it. So big shout out Amon and Jumabi especially, and obviously congrats Jumabi for winning the Open Major. I trained with him a lot. Very strong player, and he proved it in the Open Major. And obviously Amon won the APAC. So yeah, really wish those guys the best of luck. And yeah, before I go, like I say, um, I don't mind the odd joke about the incident, but for me, I'd rather move on. And like I said, there's no need to kick a dead horse. That there's when there's nothing to gain from it, you know. And yeah, that's all I got to say there. And yeah, like I say, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You can, say whatever you want. I just won't take it seriously. Like, if it's negative, I'm just gonna move on anyway. But like I say, uh, I got good friends around me, and the amazing support is all I care about. Is those who are around me support me and want to help me the best they can. Anybody else who's there to cause maybe try and feel worse or just to laugh at me, I don't care about those people. They're not my friends, and yeah, but I've just got to focus on myself, and also like I say, I've got a great group of friends around me and an amazing community that was supporting me throughout. And I want to stay in this community, of course, and I will be back next year. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And yeah, hopefully after this recording, I'll feel better in the coming days. But yeah, congrats to everybody who made it. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Chris Kamara. Jeff.